Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching and welcome to the English News Bình Phước radio, television station and newspaper. And following are the headlines as usual. Bình Phước leader take part in the National Online Conference on Policy Communications. Over 14,000 blood units were sourced in the 2023 blood drive. Sharing love with people in need. Prime Minister Phạm Minh Chính called for new mindsets, breakthrough and value to develop the southeastern region. United Nations facilitates women's participation in peacekeeping operation. And now a detail. Leader of Bình Phước Provincial People's Committee recently participated in a national online conference on policy communication with the theme Awareness, Action, Resources.
Addressing the gathering, Prime Minister Phạm Minh Chính emphasized that policy communications play a very important role and receive major attention from the party and state. He said communications must always go first in policy implementation to raise awareness and secure consensus in society. The Prime Minister asked that based on promoting existing advantages and learning from international experience, all efforts raise awareness and boost action and resources for the task. In particular, people must be at the center and policy formulation must be oriented towards the people. At the conference, participants discussed presentations from ministries and sectors on communications policies that put people at the center of development. Policy communications according to functions and tasks, organization apparatus and positions, jobs, staffing norms, and civil servants and public employees in charge of policy communications, the role and mission of the media in policy communications, and experience in policy communications in certain localities, etc.
Bình Phước Province started receiving 14,346 units of blood during its blood donation drives in 2023, with the rate of repeat blood donor reaching at least 55%. The targets were set by the Provincial People's Committee in Plan Number 344 dated on November the 22nd, 2022 on voluntary blood donation in 2023.
Of the 14,346 units of blood, districts, towns and cities in the province have been assigned to collect 12,575 units. Colleges and professional secondary schools under the province are to provide 120 units, youth union and provincial officers and civil servants 300 units, provincial police 130 units, and rubber companies 1,221 units. The Xuân Hồng or Red Spring Festival will be held on February 16th with a blood donation target of 450 units set for the launch ceremony. Blood donation drives have become regular activities in the province over recent years, attracting people from all walks of life. Donations are a meaningful act expressing responsibility towards the community and making an important contribution to patient treatment and support.
The Sharing Pains program recently gave more than 200 million Vietnam dong to 3 households in Bình Phước facing difficulties.
The program was jointly organized by the Association for the Protection of People with Disabilities, Orphans and Poor Patients, the Bình Phước Radio, Television and Newspaper, and voluntary groups and clubs. In Village 6 in Dong Nai Commune, Budang District, the program organizers visited and handed over more than 120 million Vietnam dong to the family of Thị Gớt who are facing tough times. Gớt takes care of her husband who suffers from pneumonia, septic shock, and diabetes, among other ailments, and who can no longer walk, along with their 5 school-age children. The program also visited 2 households in Tân Tiến Commune, Budok District. 60 million Vietnam dong was given to the family of Vũ Văn Mùi, who is currently taking care of a son who was paralyzed in a traffic accident, and his wife who has suffered a stroke. 20 million Vietnam dong was given to single mother Phạm Thị Yến who is raising 2 children who have just undergone 3 heart surgeries.
Ladies and gentlemen, Prime Minister Phạm Minh Chính on November 26 stressed the need for a new mindset, new breakthrough and new value to promote the development of the southeastern region.
Prime Minister Phạm Minh Chính on November 26 stressed the need for a new mindset, new breakthroughs, and new values to promote the development of the southeastern region. He made a request while chairing a conference in Bà Rịa Vũng Tàu province to launch the government's action plan for implementing a Politburo resolution on orientations for socio-economic development and defense security safeguarding in the southeastern region by 2030. Prime Minister Chính said the southeastern region should take the lead in the country in terms of green, inclusive, and comprehensive development. At the conference, ministries, sectors, and localities presented their action programs and plans to implement the resolution. Some international organizations and business associations also talked about investment cooperation to boost infrastructure connectivity, attraction of public attention to development cooperation, and potential and opportunities for green economic cooperation.
The United Nations will continue creating a favorable environment for women, including those from Vietnam, to effectively participate in peacekeeping operations. United Nations Under Secretary General for Peace Operations Jean-Pierre Lacroix told a conference in Hanoi on November the 26th.
The UN Under-Secretary General for Peace Operations Jean-Pierre Lacroix attended the International Conference on Women with the UN Peacekeeping Operations in Hanoi on November 26th. He told the event that the UN will continue creating a favorable environment for women, including those from Vietnam, to effectively participate in peacekeeping operations. The official recognized Vietnam's great contributions to the implementation of women, peace, and security agenda. At the event, delegates shared lessons learned in deploying female peacekeepers and gave recommendations, including the establishment of a network of women peacekeepers in the region. They also committed to supporting Vietnam in setting up a center to promote the participation of women, including police women, in UN peacekeeping operations. Vietnam has joined the UN's work since 2014. Among 512 Vietnamese officers and soldiers sent to UN peacekeeping missions, over 70 are women.
Ladies and gentlemen, Vietnam has 2 more names in the Asia-Pacific Documentary Heritage List.
2 heritage pieces of Vietnam were recognized as part of Documentary Heritage in Asia and the Pacific on November 26 at the 9th General Meeting of the Memory of the World Committee for Asia and the Pacific in Andong City, the Republic of Korea. They are a collection of handwritten Chinese and non-documents in Ha Tinh Province, and the 78-man high stele is on Nu Han Sun Mountain in Da Nang City. The steles feature writings of various genres by kings and mandarins of the Nguyen dynasty, monks, and scholars who used to set foot in the scenic landscape between the first half of the 17th century and the 1960s.
The advanced economies is expected to contribute some 75% of the national GDP by 2025 and about 85% by 2030 under an action program of the government.
The program set the target of raising the urbanization rate to over 50% and the number of urban areas nationwide to about 1,000 to 1,200 by 2030. By that time, there will be a number of national and regional urban centers that satisfy health, education, training, and culture standards set for an urban area in the top 4 ASEAN countries. The average housing floor area per capita in urban areas will reach at least 28 square meters by 2025 and 32 square meters by 2030. Broadband internet will cover more than 80% of the urban households by 2025, and target all of them in the next 5 years. By 2045, Vietnam aims to have at least 5 international urban areas connected with regional and global networks. The program also includes devising policies and legal documents to facilitate implementation.
And that's all for today on Bình Phước Radio, television station and newspaper news. Once again, thanks for watching and goodbye for now.